Cold Beans Challenge, episode 5. I'm not feeling very good today. It's really sort of like the realisation that we still got, the greater part of 6,000 years to go. People's attitudes to me towards anything, it's just not nice. It's obviously better than being stuck inside of a planet all on my own, with some part of me not even sure why I'm there. But it's still, I don't have much to celebrate. Nobody's very good to me in some sort of real, genuine way. I just have to wait until, it's been so long since anybody paid me any care. They have to give me a compressed version of it because they can't physically call it theirs any longer. It feels like if there's a greater detail to that. I do believe in us, whatever. I just think people find it harder to prioritising anything is quite hard when there's so many selfish bloody characters around us, only thinking about what we are to their high and convenience, to keep it over us without an effort or a trade as prominent. So what I need at the moment is more people to speak and act in the way I am. More people to just bring up the facts of our reality, so I'm not such a minority struggler to have to say it on my own. And every other communication, would you call it? Is it satire? Is it propaganda? Is it esoteric? What is it really? It's just more like things you repeat to get your slice of the selfishness, and otherwise the heart and the passion, the drive in it isn't there yet. And I know that's really hard to do because we've just lived an increasing negative existence. In fact, right now is the most positive things have ever been. To look forward to them. When you first start time, you don't know if someone's going to do anything wrong until they have. So that's 6,000 years of doubt and apprehensive commitment. We now though move towards a definite positive thing to happen when the 6,000 years are over. So we can apply some more feeling than we have ever got to existence so far. But we've also got to couple it with, learning how bad it really is, what's just happened and what still is happening. I think some of it's disgusting. The most popular people to speak in life are always the worst. And then you end up having to base yourself a bit off them, because their fragile egos still are fortified with so much trend for us to move around them, for them to feel good all the time. Don't look in official places, look in unofficial places, and you find it all the time. Gangsters and stuff, drug dealers, they're always bad, they're not good. They're always compensating so much for things that are now not normal to them enough in contact with anyone else, and they just give themselves a bloated importance on not having one as much, really. All the drugs are made of those normal people, and they just keep taking them from the normal people and applying them to themselves, so they can live in an egotistical shelter, where they can't be challenged or have to reflect on their bad behaviour. But we're gradually getting them out. It's going to take a long time. They're still going to rule us for a while. But in each moment, they are becoming less fortified to be able to exploit us without us at least saying. And I know. And then they'll be back as people. But they're getting punished. They're all getting punished for it. We've just been punished for being good, basically, because if we're so good, they can't be so bad. We're all going to experience going without things, whilst our good nature can find more space to continue. Where theirs is simply so unbuilt, they've got to rebuild it on our terms instead of theirs. Yeah. I don't like it though. I mean, I think like, look, here's me becoming vegan. I'm there, you know what, selling drugs to a new wave of people that haven't taken them before, and that's their progression. So they're going to have to be forced to do things that they have no power to do themselves until we help them get it back. And I don't like that their voices dominate everything, so everybody can't think about moral things more before they say something that's not moral, because they just complain about this or that so much that the literal space is compressed to talk about it the way it is. The government's not a bad thing. The government is how humans live. They couldn't live otherwise, so they just say a load of cliches to push these things that help them all the time, they take for granted, and to push you working in them. And they're totally delusional. They only like you if you repeat something with them and buy their drugs, you know, or take their drugs with them so they can steal stuff from your body as you get high with them and start to approve them, because you get hypnotised into it by how much they approve them themselves. So yeah, it's better than, you know, the plague or war and stuff like that, but it's still a continuation of it. It is decreasing, but it's going to take a long time before, you know, life can even be communal as it always will be, because we're in so many places and so many shipwrecks of the next fork of damage. And the internet isn't good. The internet's where people can say things that are aggressive and bad and steal the trend. It's not official. It's where the worst people can't beat you up anymore, so they just demean you with words. But I will transform the internet into something good by continuing to be a good influence on it, and then know that the ones closer to preserve nature will follow as soon as they overcome the addictions and the detached personality fixation to be the better one, for being selfish and less open to good behaviour and universal value. That Martin Healer he's been speaking like that for a long time. Every time every moment he corrupts something, you know, and I just think he's a bit of a sexual deviant or whatever. You know, he uses women, he uses animals, he uses whatever. It's one to watch out for, because I don't think it's been successfully described. The power of bad influence to make the whole world suffer. Then he's going to go to prison for it. You know, he's going to have to not derive pleasure from it in the future. It's just a thing.